think I'm even on time. Yeah, it's close. Can you imagine if there was actually like producers putting this show together physically? You know, they waking me up. Hey, Jeremy, it's time to get up. You got to do the show. I don't want to. 5 more minutes. But we made you coffee. Here's your robe. That'd be ridiculous, wouldn't it? Oh, would it? Yeah, it would. If I wasn't half asleep, I wouldn't even consider that. Good morning, everybody. Welcome. Today is Thursday, October 31st, 2019. That's right, it's Halloween. My name is Jeremy, and this is my first cup of coffee. Here's the sign. Oh. I don't know that I slept poorly, but definitely restlessly. It took me a little while to fall asleep. And I know I tossed and turned, and I kept waking up, and I had weird dreams. I had this dream about being at the ocean, and the tide was going out, and I was like saving clams. Not like a lot of them. It was just like, oh, that one's gonna die, and I take it and like toss it in the water. It was a very strange dream. Well, I hope you slept better than I did. I hope if you dreamt, they were better dreams, or at least made more sense. Who knows what those were about? It's Halloween, and I don't know about you. If you're dressing up, maybe you have kids and they're dressing up, maybe you're going trick-or-treating, but Halloween's always been my favorite holiday. It is, as commercial as it is, it's the least commercial. We're taught to dress up and hang out and eat candy. And I understand the pagan ancestry of the holiday, and I know that there, you know, for some, this, probably not too many people, based on percentages, but, you know, for some people, this day has a lot of significance. But I just like the idea of costumes and getting dressed up. And Stacy is chiming in. Halloween / Samhain. Yeah, rocks. I'll be working on the job site today, so no costumes there. And got some work after I get a meeting, and then hitting a CrossFit class. I don't think I'll be doing any costumes there, but maybe. I don't have anything. I don't have anything I can really wear. Well, I don't know. Let me think on that. I might be able to do something. I've definitely gotten used to this coffee. I don't hate it. Is there anything else going on today? No, because there's really no time for anything else. As soon as I'm done here, I pack up and go. Yeah. I can let you know about the soft launch. Whistlekick is launching. That seems like an aggressive way to say it. If you go to whistlekick.com now, you'll see I rearranged the navigation menus a little bit. There's a 4 schools and a 4 individuals section. And in the 4 schools section, we added consulting services. And in the 4 individuals, we added coaching services. I've had more and more people reaching out, looking for my time, my advice, and I've started charging for that. And the feedback has been overwhelmingly positive. People have said that they've definitely received what they had hoped for and their money's worth. And so we're going to experiment with this as a revenue stream. As anybody watching the show consistently knows, you know, I'm doing consulting on the side and in the marketing space and everything. And you know what? Why not offer that to martial artists and martial arts schools? And, you know, those are really the people I want to work with the most. So go check those out. We'll be fleshing those out more, adding a podcast episode. And speaking of podcast episodes, did I get the notification on today's episode? Did that go live? Let's see. Over here, my videos. Yep, here it is. So today's episode is on the movie Ong Bak, which was the major debut for Tony Jaa. And Mr. Josh Blum comes back, and we recorded together. He's the host of the 13th Hour podcast, and if you listen to the episode that we recorded on 36 Chambers of Shaolin, we had fun. And it was an excuse to watch a classic martial arts movie and call it work. So that's what we did. Watched that movie and talked about it. This is a good movie. If you've never seen Ong Bak, you really should. And in the episode, talk about why. So check that out and keep your eyes peeled. Josh and I have talked about what it might look like to do like a live thing with this. The idea of watching a movie with a bunch of other people. You know, we pick like a Netflix film and we watch it together, something like that. So stay tuned. What else going on? Anything of special importance yesterday? No, coached some CrossFit. I always have fun doing that. So here we go. Let's answer these questions. If you want to ask me a question, boom, drop it below. There's a very lame part of me in the back of my head wanting to say drop it like it's hot. Ugh. All right. Shout out again to Frank for his help in putting these episodes together and asking questions and everything. It has been said, clothes make a statement, but costumes tell an epic saga. Do you think this is true? Well, I think it depends on the context that you're wearing the costume. If you wear a costume on Halloween, I don't think it tells an epic saga. But if I were to show up to a board meeting, Kat, you're fine. Stop being fussy. I'm on TV. If I were to show up to a boardroom wearing a Superman costume, that definitely tells an epic saga of how I was thrown out of the boardroom, I would guess. But I think what we wear can have a lot of impact on how we feel and who we are and what happens. You know, what would First Cup be if I wasn't wearing a bathrobe? It wouldn't be the same. If I got up and got dressed, that shows a formality in this show that I didn't want. It's just, hey, this is me chilling in my bathrobe. And yeah, I've done episodes without the bathrobe. I've done episodes in the car and fully dressed and everything. But it's not the same, and that's not the intent of the show. The show's meant to be this. It's meant to be exactly what it is. And I bet that there's clothing you have in your closet that makes you feel better, whether that's cooler or more attractive or powerful. We have those things. I am never more comfortable than when I'm wearing a martial arts uniform, specifically a gi, because that's what I originally grew up with, and that was what I was wearing the first time I felt strong and confident. I had a blue gi in high school. When I received my black belt, that was the joke, was, Jeremy, what do you want when you get your black belt? I want a blue gi. Well, I joked about that enough that the instructors relented, and my mother bought me a blue gi. I wore those blue gi pants to school a couple times because they were super comfy, way more comfortable than any of the jeans I had. They just didn't have pockets. I still have that gi. It's, shoot, 24 years old. It was an old gi. And that's not even the oldest one I have. I have some pants and a top that are 25 years old, maybe 26. There's nothing wrong with wearing clothing that makes you feel confident and powerful. It doesn't have to be a costume. I've read that more and more martial arts schools are now expanding to other services. For instance, some schools are offering yoga or a weight training room. What do you think of this trend? I think it's great. I am not someone who believes that martial arts can solve all physical problems and address every physical need. For example, if you want to think of physical conditioning, it's incredibly hard to condition your back and your shoulders, the rear of your shoulders, in martial arts. Those are the two main things that you're not going to do well with. You need some weights in there. Yoga, weight training, Pilates, parkour, gymnastics, it's all movement. If you take martial arts and you take the part where we're fighting out of it, which, let's face it, doesn't happen that often. We don't get into fights too often. It's movement. And yeah, there's a different intention in that movement than there is if you're doing, if you're bodybuilding. But it's still movement. The body still works the same ways. The more different ways that you know how to move your body, and for a more diverse set of reasons, the better off you're going to be. So I think that from that angle, the cross-training aspects of it are great for martial artists. But if a martial arts school is putting that stuff in, what are they doing it for? Most likely they're doing it to raise additional money. Now, it could be to capture more money from the existing martial arts students, or it could be to bring in other people and earn their money. I think both are fine, and I know a number of schools who do that. But you have to be careful, because every group of people creates a culture. And the more different groups of people you have, the more convoluted that culture can be, and the more conflicting it can be. A martial arts school that is sharing a space with, we'll say, a weight training gym, and you got some people in there banging some weights, at the same time people are trying to meditate, that's not going to work, right? That's going to cause conflict. So it's got to be done intelligently. But I think it can be. And I think the more options you provide to people, the more people you'll attract. You get somebody who comes in for weight training and they see people coming in and leaving martial arts class time after time, and they're having a good time, they're smiling, looking like they had a good workout. Some of those people banging weights might say, I've always wanted to check this out. Maybe now's a good time. And that's how I started doing BJJ. The BJJ class occupied a dance room next to the men's locker room of the gym where I was weight training. And I would peek in and see what was going on, and it seemed like a good group of people. So I started training. I think the third question is kind of have you noticed any schools in your area embracing this trend? Not very many. When I think of the schools I know of, most of them have very small spaces, or they're sharing space. Now, I do know some schools that occupy larger spaces that have weight rooms, and I even know some with multiple weight rooms and locker rooms and changing rooms. And in many of those cases, the martial arts spaces aren't dedicated to martial arts, that they are dance studios, in a sense, that that room gets swapped out for different classes at different times. But I know some. I know some that have dedicated martial arts space and some of these other spaces, and I think it's great. You know, it's. I think the trouble that a lot of schools go through when they look at doing stuff like this is they don't look at the return on the investment. It's got to make financial sense to do this. If you're going to go through this construction and this investment of equipment, anytime you add something, it creates complexity. Complexity means problems if not handled correctly. So anytime you add complexity, it has to mean that there's going to be money coming back from it. And the investment of a weight room and the construction that goes along with it, how long is it going to take you to make that money back? If you can't answer it, it's probably not worth doing. What might be more worth doing is you establish a relationship with a weight training, a gym somewhere, and say, hey, would you offer a discount to our members if we offer a discount to your members? Everybody wins, right? You don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars building a weight facility. So, those are good questions. Homework in a moment. Now, it's Halloween. I hope if you are at all involved in Halloween, whether that's handing out candy or trick-or-treating, that Stacy's commenting that one of the martial arts schools in Southern Vermont has a space dedicated to one-on-one training on the side. And yes, I've actually, I've trained in that facility, and Stacy, one of the early whistlekick commercials was filmed in that space. However you might be involved in Halloween, whether it's candy or taking your kids trick-or-treating, or maybe you're going to a party, maybe you went to a party, I hope you have fun. Let's keep Halloween positive, right? Try to keep every day positive. If you want to ask a question, drop it below. Make sure you've subscribed to the Whistlekick channel. Turn on notifications. We do the show every weekday morning, 6:30 a.m. Eastern, only on YouTube. But you can catch it later in your podcast feed or at firstcupwithjeremy.com. Go check out the episode on Bach. Subscribe to Martial Arts Radio. And all right, here's your homework. I want you to consider that your clothing. I want you to think about what you wear and how it makes you feel. There's always an option to feel strong, to feel powerful, to feel attractive, to feel confident, whatever words make the most sense for you. And I want you to wear that clothing more often. Maybe there are professional reasons why you can't wear the complete outfit that you would want to wear, but I bet there's something. I bet there's something you could add that makes you feel powerful. That makes you feel the way you want to feel. Maybe it's a shirt underneath that nobody sees, that has a message that resonates with you. Maybe it's your underwear. Maybe it's your socks. Most of us can get away with wearing whatever we want for socks, underwear, t-shirt, bra, whatever it is. And in most professions, people aren't going to know what we're wearing there. So don't be afraid to do that. Take control of that for yourself. Hope you have a great day. I will see you back here tomorrow for Friday. Have a great one. Peace.